Manever I say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there, I see them yopo.
Joe abusiafo we de mesra mu enkomo de me ankasa no mentumi emfa ma no nka mepese ebekọ ni akotie ensamo a eye Kevin Taylor Loud Silence TV omo penyini in fact obe kano ewo with all due respect jumadi so na ensamo no de ensamo no de edi in fact me can say Nsamono. Hey, emuyedin. Efa Ghana judiciary someone kasa mun Ghana judiciary sane nyoma isiko. In fact, oko ka ho asem bibire a wan hwa ne ese entonton pe na ase fi akọ ne ya sheda ne ya sheda faculty kwan bi so ne ya frew say asem o court na obeka bi asem we de nyame na meka ye be pacho Kevin Taylor or the one in kese e de ama eye judges a e wo krum ha efa eye ato forcing enkommo no ho nansi ananroa de ekosi wo court no akasa ho ne nsam bi aka de abusuya edise wankasa ye koni ekuti mesro so be subscribe to PENDREAM TV na wa like video e de ama me wo adwenkyere bi a me pacho wo hwe na what also so wo de ato comment section no ase e de ama follow yen our ye social media platform nyina so yankoni nkuti nkomo no emra.
It's got to do with this ambulance purchase trial. Now I want to talk about this issue. Abra yenye partisan about it. We need to discuss this without making it look like an MPP NDC fight. Sa case where a was supreme a court, sorry. Yede ato forcing any two other people or so three other people akujina court no. And your court, Ghana court, and the judge, your friend Judge Sewa presided a case in the so. Ato forcing Jackpamo a presente a document in court to the judge and say, you know, application idea be ye per se asemono, you who say, Injina so and shada niso. Inti say, only a baya junior from the evidence, any conduct, any nyoma ACC or case women in say, Attorney General shada ni injina subia because so tie a yes a tekwe, a year Sebio Oba court in some of the kind say he will even take responsibility for what has happened. Attorney General says still own tie. I had the manufacturer, manufacture ambulances no. Catch Attorney General say for ambulances ne bra na yefa usika nyina ama no. Attorney General say ompene no. Atofos say we nyina say Attorney General no in seminar o gyina so de case no. I say your time and or time atofosing ene jakpa na sebio enya Ghana opese o save Ghana sika because we are in court because they say somebody caused financial loss to the state. So our utmost prime our utmost priority and then say ye sika na nipa na say yes nipa na say no. That's the first thing. Yen saka sika ni we are you better penalize nipa no. The reason why we are in court today, our ambulance case we nyina say, yes see nipa bi afa kwan bi so ma Ghana ahwere sika. Sa sika na ahwere 2.3 million euros. Sa company a Ghana ni omudi nsa woso a na Ghana fo wom no. Company ne say monje musika na monfa ya ambulance maye. At the end of the day, that is the reason why we are in court. Attorney General say ompe tie. Almost say eye ato forcing na oya deputy to Setekpe and ato forcing ono ade ne pe extra letter ema Ghana etie sika koma company no mo the ambulance by say yes se sia no mo se ambulance ne nye mo se enam yasunti obi abokro no musika no ya pese de musika ma mo mfa mo ambulance emaye Attorney General so ompene Madam Judge we etie asem no nasum Setekpe aba court aba catch the judge say judge ato force no hyebase na oye djuma me na me the boss me na me man ho kwan se on trust a letter no enti se mo pe obi ablemu na mo blemu me every say me se ma man sa order na anka on to me letter no Attorney General say, Dabi, ato force na no person jailino. Now, you have politics in your chain. Sa application ya ato force any jackpot erikoma eye madam eye sewa judge sewa no. Or say sa nyomani nyina wahwe. Still ohun say Attorney General case. Now the question I want to ask is say Attorney General dey intino wo court. Why is the Attorney General in court? The Attorney General is in court because Ose obi afakuti kwanso magana ahwiriska. Sika no so na bohoi. Nipa na yesi Ghana ahwiri sika mana kodi ne ho no. Nipa na se jiw sika na fa ade na moto na mame. Ose mempe. Judge na hwe we nyina ose still Attorney General case. Enti ono asem no opese oditu ase ejeli atoforcing this woman. And the way I am trying to break it down, me per se ye partisan politics ye for use ya adwene ye common sense. And until I start me busa say, dear intina Godfrey Dame Attorney General or court. He's in court for a reason. He's in court because he's chasing Ghana's money. The people who took the money are saying, take your money and give us our ambulances. And whatever you want to do with your people, do with them. Attorney General says, no, I don't want the money. I still want to jail this person. Then it becomes persecution. Omotata a deliberate, a political persecution. And anytime I say, "Mummy, any politics in tone chain." This is our judiciary. Into all these things, Egudamami we TV so, a table so, Emma we ready we nyina or say, "Maame no kura na or judge no." She does not even care about the money. Ono judge also does not care about money. What she cares about now is for somebody to go to jail. But we are paying the Attorney General to retrieve our money. We are paying the Attorney General to go after our money. Let's go get the money first. Yeah, just can we are. And then we can deal with the person. Are we going to jail at forcing, jail jakpa, and later come and ask a company say it's a simple question. Because at the end of the day, the reason why we are in court is basically because you see, causing financial loss to the state. Yanka say causing water loss. Yanka say causing emotional loss. You see, financial loss, it means it's money. So what we are looking at is the money. And the money where it went is saying, take your money and give us our ambulance. This judge says, still, Attorney General case. I want us to use common sense. Now, if Ubika said this is persecution and it's not prosecution, you can distinguish. And you're brofu. Majority of them, they could not pass their exams. But I don't watch it. Agent TV, Attorney General has been vindicated. Law school exams will not pass it. Into a politics no or MPP communicator. Akuffo Addo man appointment or Ghana airport. On Jimmy so betina TV so I can just Akuffo Addo Kronfo and Apple Attorney General Kronfo yet because aban the tuaneka. It is a woman Paul Addo TV so or the same person to say a finance minister or to say Attorney General. He is being paid by the government. He was appointed by Akuffo Addo. Paul Addo Akuffo Addo the you could see airport board so he was not going to come and tell you say Akuffo Addo and Attorney General is a thief on yet no crime coming yet. Until when you see such people display ignorance and foolishness, it is because they have to protect what makes them human. Until so study case na no busa won say our judiciary DNSCIA are we looking for justice? Are we looking to make sure say the right thing is done? Now what is the right thing? What is the right thing? What is the court looking for? Madam Way, what is she looking for in this case? The reason why she's sitting on this case is for Ghana to retrieve its money. Ghana and Sabesaka Nisika. There's a difference between company near Chesika Momo Eka said you're not going to pay anything. But this company is saying, I'll pay you your money. Give me my ambulance. So what is this woman looking for in this case? Is she looking for money or she's looking to jail somebody to satisfy somebody's hunger? Because a time come and hunger. A time come will be. It is looking like our court is basically being used to persecute people. So when you're prosecution, this is persecution. Why don't you take our money first? The reason why I want to jail Akuffo, why don't you do that? But we said no. 2 million euros ni nyina on pay. Akuffo na obi suma no ono na opesa we make sure say we jail no. In 1982, judges were murdered. Let's put politics aside. You and I, you bet win a court case any day in Ghana. This is Akuffo. This guy can be the next president of Ghana. He has been the finance minister of Ghana before. He is the leader of the biggest opposition that has been in Ghana before, in power before. Akuffo is not small fish. So Akuffo de Bonia, we will all tell the court to jail Akuffo. But is the court telling us that they have one thing they want to do? If they execute, it does not matter how much Ghana will lose. Because we want to know, the case you are sitting on, why are we sitting on the case? Is it because we want our money back or we want to jail people and be satisfied? And see, this issue in court, the basic question you ask yourself, any judge, and say, Madam Judge, what do you want? In the first place, why do we have this case in court? And the reason why we are in court is because some people have caused financial loss to the state. The financial loss, some people have caused financial loss to the state. The financial loss, that loss we are looking for, we have found it. It is with Big C. Big C are saying they are willing and ready to give us that financial loss back. Why are we still saying we need to jail Akuffo? So we are going to jail Akuffo, and the 2.3 million that we have spent money on the Attorney General's office every day in court now. Yes, we will miss the 2.3 million. And now you are going to jail Akuffo and come back and go and tell Big C to give you 2.3 million euros. This is the problem with our judiciary, some of it. This is what causes problems in a nation. And in 1982, the High Court judges who were murdered, for all you know, it is somebody who, at the end of the day, some of those judges are in their courtrooms and are taking advantage of the moment and murdered them. For all you know, those judges, they did something that was not right. Until the time and system no I heated up and I said, this is my opportunity. This judge are my target. Because time I remember major padie owudi jameno judge we making sure say what time major padie ne diama obi abra na judge ni nim say e me major padie. Judge we asase we na emebusua asase na edaha ena yebusua me papa wuye ena nipa bi achinchi minsa o court judge ne efa kuti kwan bi so edane me masase a me de bebo me bra ama me mba enya bibie di no odane ma obi a oye politician asem bi baaye ema me wofa na odi bem enso judge ne nipa bi ekot kaye ena ebuti am wofa odefiase. Those things are harboring in the hearts of people. They only need the right time to act. So 1982, those judges there was a reason, and there are different reasons in here. Some people decided to do that. Remember, they were not the only judges in Ghana. And with all due respect, madam, I am not saying somebody should do that to any judge, no. But in court, they call something precedent. Assembly assembly. And I am bringing this in, that precedent, it's always what we have to basically guide ourselves with, or each other with. Inti sanko from taking that advantage, that time, they had harbored some pain in their heart. But that moment when those judges were doing that, those judges felt that they had to satisfy some people's ambition. Maybe those judges, those times, they felt too powerful, that there will never be a day that they will be exposed, that people can come into their homes, drag them on the floor deep at night. Maybe those times judges say, this is Ghana. They are not like that. We are a God-fearing nation. My fellow Ghanaian cannot be too angry to enter my home and drag me and shoot me. Maybe that was what the judges were thinking. But in 1982, some Ghanaians took advantage of the system, took advantage of what was happening, decided to take revenge. People's aunties, their fathers, their mothers, they were dragged from their homes and shot dead. Shot in the middle of the night. They were screaming for their lives. They were begging. They were on their knees. But people did not have mercy on them because the pain that they had caused. And I can tell you on authority, and I feel bad for the families of these people. And I wish this never happens to any man or any woman or any child. That your mother, your father is dragged from their house at night to be shot in the head. But we need to understand, there were so many judges in Ghana. Why those judges? We need to ask ourselves lots and lots of questions. Why those judges? What have they done? Or what had they done for somebody to commit that crime, to feel satisfied? Because they were not the only judges in Ghana. They had friends, they had colleagues. Why just them? Because nobody will be insane and wake up one morning and say, I hate this judge, I'm going to go kill this judge. No. It is maybe something had happened that person did not get the opportunity to respond. There are millions of Ghanaians who have issues with the judiciary, and especially some of our judges, because of the kind of judgment that is put out there. If they get the opportunity, they will strike. People have lost lives. They have lost livelihood. They have lost what makes them human because of some judges, their actions. So I want to ask Madam Judge, what are you looking for in this case? Money or just to jail and be excited about it? 1982 killings. Before I go on, this is the deepest, harshest videos normally we don't share on TV. But after they were murdered, the same Ghanaians came together, prayed, and said goodbye. After they were murdered, after these judges were killed, the same people came out and said, let us bury them. And I'm very sure there were people in the crowd who were part of the murderers. They saw people laid to rest because at that moment they felt they had the power to also control. All is about power and how you control the power. When you have power today, when you have power in your hand today, and you feel you can control it to suppress a fellow human being, all because you want to please another human being, the day that power will slip and it enters into the hands of the other person, you will feel the pain of that person. This is when those judges were being buried. You see, unim dia yawa asem we mu nyina no. Judges we time you ku omo no. You say charge to omumu. You charge to omumu no. Almost shadow na nsuo toye. Oman shie. The pain. E Ghana for na yo. Enye Dubai vo, enye German vo, and the same Ghanaians we felt or thought in 1982 that they are peace-loving people. Nothing can push them to do that. You treja to omumu after they shot them, they treja to omumu. Almost halfway na nsuo toye. So they were half bent. Yes, the shovel and it's a salmo body. A go at that plastic bag. All because it's a decision that they took before. A decision they took that maybe they knew wasn't right. Their bodies at the end of the day were shoveled into plastic bags. Almost say half. And then so tas to togu almost and yet the shovel a salmo a good bag. It should send a message to every single Ghanaian. It should send a message to us, the people who have been given power, who have been given that power. We need to make sure that we don't overuse the power against the same people. Because when people get angry, when there's pain in the heart of men or a man, it doesn't leave easily. It takes years. Maybe you might not be lucky. And that man who has been crying within, without pain, maybe you might not be lucky. That man will get that power you used to have. Maybe that man will get the opportunity that you have today. In the 80s, people were a little scared of things. People were brought up well. People at a point had some kind of sympathy, empathy. In the 80s, things that people would do today, people were not able to do in the 80s. Tonight, today, here, it is more dangerous and slipperier than in 1982. Now, it is more dangerous, more slipperier than 1982. The reason is that it is so easy to murder somebody today in Ghana than in 1982. In 1982, you had to plan so long. Now, you don't need to plan. You need to know who your target is. That is why I keep saying, what are we doing in court, Madam Judge? I'm not going to come sit here and act like I know the law than you or know the law than lawyers in Ghana. I am sitting here as a Ghanaian applying common sense. Our nation says we have lost money. The people who took the money are saying we will pay you, give us back our ambulance. We say no. So why are we going after Akuffo? This is persecution. That is why I keep saying that Madam Sewa was supposed to throw this case out in the first place. For her to entertain this case to this point means there's an agenda. There's a persecution agenda in this case. For the judge to even entertain this case to this point, what are we looking for in court? Is it to jail somebody and be satisfied, or going after the money we say we have lost? Because the case is causing financial loss to the state. The loss is the money. The money is sitting there. They are saying, take your money. We say no. We still want to jail Akuffo. Power. Because of power some people had in 1982, they were burned into ashes. Shovel. They used shovel. People had to put gloves on their hands to pick them up. All because of pain. And we should learn from history. And I'm not sitting here, say, if somebody is guilty, that person should walk. Never. When somebody is guilty, that person is supposed to be what? To be prosecuted, jailed. How guilty is Akuffo? How guilty is Jagba? And why is Akuffo in court? It is because Akuffo, we say, through his carelessness, we have lost money. The money is sitting there. The person who, at the end of the day, was the last recipient of the money says, take your money and give me my cars. What has Akuffo done? Is it the money we are going after, or we are going after Akuffo? Now, this is what happened in court today. You people, what you are doing is dangerous. So I'm telling you. Ambulance purchase trial. Having listened to the conversation between A3 Richard Jakpa and AG, the allegation that Attorney General sought assistance to implicate A1 was not born out of mouth of the Attorney General, but A3. And your court no, Madam Judge Sewa say, we tie a year tape no be 10 times. Tape na mi tie na wusu tie no. Tape na ye nyina ye boy na Ghana fo nyina tie brofo na omoka no. Ma me say ono we tie tape be 10 times. Na bibia ni tape ni ma kire se Attorney General ebie na no ka kire eye den Jakpa se Jakpa enkoye bibi emwa no case nim. O se wanti bibi sa. Madam ne say we tie tape no be 10 times. Tie. There's no I don't care about NDC and MPP. I want you to know. I swear to God. Ada amanfo we di bedi no wan hwa wo de sika be show for the rest of your life. You will target somebody till you kill the person. You don't know what these people can do, eh? At my mina or take case in this say we tie tape no. We tie tape no be 10 times. Or say be any tape prima or te say Attorney General catch Jakpa say on try na onini enya adwene no mumbu asem no engu ede atofo o say Attorney General mbie na no anka nti wendi bone o say sanke free Attorney General anumu baye dia na just Attorney General wedi bone na o say wante say oyusu sa words no. This is the judge sitting on the case. Nidin nim nam de kire wo no. Madam Sewa Oni. Let me put her on this side. Senator, you know who you are discussing. O see. O tie tape ni nyina no. Wanti bibia. In fact, bibia mfiri Attorney General num ambampo. I suggest a kire said na oka kire Jakpa say onkasa ewo court man sebio eni ono Attorney General asem ne nko bankurom se ne be ya edien obebu asem no etia atoforsen. So at least one. There's one thing the judge admitted in court today. There was a conversation between Attorney General and the third accused. At least. Me call law school. Master no more law firms. But there's one thing that has been established in court today from the judge say she has listened to the tape and she has confirmed in court the voice on the tape was Attorney General and the third accused. Finished. Right? That means she knows say asem wo court yempa obi ho enene nkokasa abra or lawyer. So the judge from this statement alone is telling us say I have listened to the tape and I can confirm to you that Attorney General Godfrey Dame and the Jakpa and no Mokasa because of see nowhere in the tape did the Attorney General make any statement to free the Numubai. Meaning she is admitting that it was at the Attorney General who at the end of the day was on the phone with Jakpa. She has established it. We are doing common sense here. It is not about who knows law and who doesn't know law. We are applying this. So at least the judge on the screen has established to say she knows for a fact it was Godfrey Dame talking to the third accused. Godfrey Dame, who is the prosecutor, talking to the third accused at odd hours without the accused lawyer. What does the law say? This lady says she's a learned judge. She wants to be neutral. She wants people to know that only obi nkoshe kukuom enkodi nkomo se opese obu attain to obi so. I am not going to take Jakpa's case issue now. I'm not going to listen to Attorney General. The judge sitting on the case in the metie ampa Attorney General nenso enyon ne kan. The question we want to ask is say, is it right? Eyemra say Attorney General any obi be kasa abra case were court behind the scenes without their lawyer? He said no. Now, the second part. Say, Judge let me establish say a Attorney General and a Jakpa Edi San Komona. What is stopping the judge from asking or for asking Attorney General to prove to Ghana and her court that this kind of behavior didn't really happen? So it is up to the court, the judge. So Obefre Attorney General ba say, Matitepwe betiebi Jakpa or third accused and a deba bontene. I know your credibility, I know the office you occupy, and I know you know the ethics of your job. It is why did the judge refuse to ask Attorney General in court under oath that are you the one speaking with an accused outside court proceedings without the lawyer of the accused? What prevented the judge from doing that? Because whatever they were talking about, as you yourself say, wait tape 10 times, was it about Obra? No. Was it about the Black Stars? No. Was it about Akuffo Addo? No. Was it about John Mahama? No. It was about the case that you are sitting on. So if the conversation was about the case, because you told us you have listened to the conversation 10 times, you know what it was about, meaning you have a clear idea that what they were discussing is got to do with what was happening in the courtroom. So if what they were discussing was nothing or had nothing to do with your court their proceedings, then you can say, Attorney General, whatever conversation you had with the guy, it wasn't about my court proceedings, so I'm fine. You can go and do your thing. Go, ethics committee can deal with you. But the conversation was about the case that you are sitting on, meaning there is an influence on your case. There is an influence on your case because the people having the conversation are not just mere spectators in the court. This is the prosecutor, the lead prosecutor, and the lead accused. So these are people which the law says that because they are before you, they cannot meet or have conversation outside your court without their counsels. So you have established, say, guy, at the end of the day, wait your tape, Godfrey. Now, are you not ready and willing to help Godfrey clean himself in court? I thought you wanted to prove to the world and Ghanaians that the Attorney General is not a criminal. The Attorney General is legit. The Attorney General does not go against the ethics of his job. So as a judge who believes in the rule of law, honesty and accountability, respect to the court, I thought you were going to tell the Attorney General to take an oath and now answer the question that whether it was him or not. Because, Madam Judge, if tomorrow, you being the judge, it comes out that you have been on phone with the Attorney General at odd hours, and the conversation you are having with the Attorney General is about this case, what are you going to say? Are you going to recuse yourself totally from the case? Or you are going to say that you will still be on the case, but you want to take yourself to the General Legal Counsel to discipline you? What are you going to say? I'm asking you, you are a judge. If you are caught today that you are talking to somebody involved in this case, whether the Attorney General or the accused, behind the scenes without their lawyer's knowledge, and that tape is played in court in front of you and you listen to it, are you going to say that you are still the judge, even though you have been caught on tape discussing this case outside court without the counsel of the other person, and you being the referee, you are caught on tape? Are you going to say that we should pause the case for you to go to General Legal Counsel and go face the disciplinary committee and come back and sit on it? Now, intent in law is very important. Intent. That is why when Vicky Hammer was a minister and playfully with her friends, she said when she gets $1 million, she's going to quit politics. Remember, she had not signed a document to say that move 1 million into my account. The reason why Ghanaians and the so-called lawyers in Ghana and the so-called intellectuals and the president decided to say Vicky Hammer should leave her position was the intent. It was the intent. Adwene ane dani trim. And intina obi threaten obia. When somebody threatens somebody, we are mekum in court, that person can be jailed. The intent. Adwene eda wutrim etumi ma wura jail. Enti not even coming out from the Attorney General's mouth say kokti atro na yenchi Akuffo Addo no. The question here is, what was the intent behind the conversation? Madam Judge, what was the Attorney General's intent? Adwene ben na etaye echiri a ode ye call no. Because in law, intent is very heavy. It's an important part of law. If you cannot establish the intent after you listen to the audio, then you are not fit to sit on this case. You are not fit to write a judgment. If you were not able to establish the intent of the Attorney General, speaking to an accused that he is prosecuting at odd hours without the accused person's lawyer, then you don't have the intellectual capability to judge this case. Because you should be able to establish an intent. That is why I'm asking, what was the intent? What made the Attorney General continuously, not just once, be talking to an accused person without a lawyer? So if you have not been able to establish the intent after 10 times listening to the audio, then you are not intellectually smart enough to write a judgment on this case. And this is the problem we have in Ghana. Problem I want Ghana in. We are suppressing the law, the bare facts. We are basically allowing people to walk all because we don't want to throw our own under the bus. If we fail to throw our own under the bus, the whole bus at a point will basically go straight and enter a ditch. This is what is happening. In court today, Judge say, even though she listened to the tape, she did not question the intent. She knows the ethics of the job. Listen, Shadia, the ethics of Attorney General Jumano. Let's read the ethics. Sir Judge Nukra say the Attorney General. Now let's look at Emra Ebone Jumano ho buying. It was oye ni ni oye. A lawyer shall not, and this is the legal professional conduct and ethics rules 2020. The job Attorney General is doing, yet the ethics Emra Ebone ho buying. So otia samrana or say making sure say BBSC. 2. A lawyer shall not, in the course of representing a client, communicate the subject of the representation to a person that lawyer knows to be represented by another lawyer in the matter, unless the lawyer has the consent of the other lawyers or is authorized to do so by law or an order of a court. Attorney General, you listen to the audio. You are able to tell us it was the Attorney General. You know you did not give any order to the Attorney General to talk to this man. You know when they were speaking, the man, the accused person's lawyer was not there. So you know the cardinal sin has been committed. Madam Judge, unim say the cardinal sin has been committed in the first place. Because when I catch us about tape, you did not deny, say it wasn't the Attorney General. You did said it is him. But because in free the numa banti, untumin kase with the bonnet, and I'm a let's put that aside. But Imran say he has no right to talk to that guy without the guy's lawyer. And if you, madam, you have not given the Attorney General an order to do so, he can't. So in your bare face, the guy has committed a crime. He has broken the law. Now go to point 3. The lawyer who is acting on behalf of a party in a matter other than in relation to a case in court shall not communicate directly with the other party for whom, to the knowledge of the lawyer, another lawyer is currently acting unless A. A notice of intention to communicate with the other party has been given to the lawyer representing that party and the lawyer has failed after a reasonable time to respond to the notice. B. The communication is made for a sole purpose, informing the other party that the lawyer, I, has been unable to obtain a reply. Has been unable to obtain a reply. Where was I? A reply from the lawyer of the party, and I request that party to contact the lawyer and the lawyer notify the other lawyer of the communication. C. The other lawyer consent, or the circumstances are so urgent as to require the lawyer to communicate with the other party. Now, when you go all the way down to all these rules, say asem quarter, untumi ne obi a client in kasa without the knowledge of the lawyer. Asem ni nyina tofa no. Say ope say onene kasa kwa na eye emergency a na wo try no so many times now on sankana and maybe a what chance say be a obe Freddy pano. But at the end of the day, Imran chere say uni right to say one obi client bekasa enna sebio lawyer crampo na sebio over the other party no uni ho kwan po say obefa lawyer ba akwachi ne lawyer eye the client akokasa e wo say o make sure say de bia no sa lawyer ni nim nkomo ni bi ana onimade kodie nti a opesa on the client kasa we rules legal professional conduct and ethics mra yashe enyo bi na troye now about communication relating to the service of a lawyer or say a lawyer shall not make a false or misleading communication about another lawyer or the service of another lawyer. Or say lawyer, be anywhere I was say, or can lawyer be one sembone ekotratro eto lawyer be so. Or could anyone say a communication is false or misleading if the communication is false or misleading if the communication A contains a material representation of fact or law or omit a fact necessary to make the statement considered as factual, whole other than materially misleading. Almost say, Emrani chere say, untumi mfa kotikwa bi so nkopakra tabi, enkaka asamon to obi lawyer so ena onso no untumi enkofoje krata bi enkɔhyɛ obi lawyer anase enkodi deɛ asɛm ni mu nka sɛ wei na ye gina so edi deɛ edi akɔ nti ɛkyerɛ clearly say eni sɛ the basic line no utwatro etia court mra. Now we are talking about the Attorney General of Ghana. We assume say onimu mra wei ɛwɔ ne nsa no onim Oba Asiawa solicitation of clients. A lawyer or a law firm shall not personally or through other means of communication solicit for professional employment from a, and it goes on and on. Now, from what I have read to you, the judge knows Attorney General. And he said, oh, yes, sir. And remember, this is a criminal case. This is not some civil matter. This is a criminal case that can destroy people's life forever. And it can destroy homes forever. This is people's lives. Where a man for life. This is a criminal case. In a criminal case, you don't take anything for granted. And it's not about America. Criminal cases, they don't waste any space. Every single detail in the case has to be brought forward because it is criminal. Somebody might end up in jail for years or be jail. Somebody's family might be depleted for good. Somebody might lose everything because it is a criminal case. In In a criminal case, you as a judge, you cannot oversee anything, especially when the laws are clear to you. Say, when a prosecutor, when an attorney general, when a lawyer goes against the ethics which you, the judge, respect, you don't oversee it. You make sure that the right thing is done. And what is the right thing? The right thing is to make sure that the attorney general swears an oath and answer the question that, did you break this law? Were you the one on the tape? Did you tell him to lie to go get a document from hospital to say he is not well? Simple questions demand simple answers. If the attorney general fails or lies under oath, he needs to be jailed. That's all. You are not supposed to create any room for the attorney general to work. No. The moment you do that, you have basically told the world that any lawyer in Ghana today, remember, precedence in law is very important. Precedence in law. Assembly yetwa ho edidi assembly. And the judge way aye no kire say, ochina lawyer bi betumi afa court echi. Ene obi client akodi nkomo akotwa trouble to obi so me jeli no. Lawyer bi begina court e defend efri say emre bi Judge Sewa eche attorney general etie tape enwu say we dis abon na nso mamenika say enmra no enindi. Into this precedent this judge you have caused or you have set, it is going to go down deep in our judicial history. It is going to split our judiciary up. It is going to spoil the judiciary. Because I will share law more. This particular regulation is very important. And then a guide the judges, a guide the lawyers, a guide the people, plaintiffs and accused. Because what happens, and they say, so when you ready and guide the people on your case now, then the case will blow up. Then people will not respect the boundaries or whatever makes them stay within the law. What the judge has done today, she has broken that law that holds a court together. And she has set an example that some lawyers who are criminals, some judges who are criminals, they will rely on what you have done today to destroy lives further. What we are saying today is that, or what we are seeing is that, Judge Sewa is saying, if you're a lawyer today, you can go behind another lawyer and talk to their client, force their client to lie in court to win your case. And that is not against the law. The judge, anytime I can 1982 as MSC, these are some of the things that some of the judges thought they had too much power. And that nobody can do anything to them. They can turn the law, they can break the law, they can submit the law, they can suppress the law. But one day, somebody too got power in the middle of the night. Somebody got power in the middle of the night. When it is 10 p.m., 11 p.m., power can be for anyone. When there's chaos, everybody yells power. When there is chaos, power does not belong to one person. When there's chaos today, everybody becomes powerful. And when you become powerful, you start to look for people who have caused you pain. And what we are seeing today, or we saw today in court, is straight travesty of justice. Madam Sewa has basically destroyed our judiciary today. It has been destroyed. How did we get here? What is our focus? What do we need in court now? Do we need to jail people and let 2.3 million euros go, or go for the 2.3 million euros and come and talk to these people whether to jail them? Which one are we looking at? Why do we make things so clear? Why are we persecuting our own? And it hurts me because when you go to the central region, they are all quiet. If this had happened to any other tribesman from any other tribe, we would have heard their chiefs, their queen mothers. This is a clear suppression of people's rights. And can see any tribe biamua. Atoforsen is fancy. I've not heard any chief from the central region. Because we are all Ghanaians and we are all following the case. I've not heard anybody from the central region say this is our own. We are not saying that if he commits a crime, he should not be jailed. But what we are seeing is beyond anybody's reasoning power. This is clear persecution. They are chiefs. They are queen mothers. Attoforce's constituency, the regional house of chiefs. This is a central Fanti boy. He has risen from the bottom. Attoforce can be a president of Ghana. He has all the resume to stand on any stage and say, vote for me to be president. But we, the Fantis, we look on, and one of our own that we have helped, trained, protected. At this point, some people want to throw our own to the dogs. How? We are all quiet. We are watching. This is clear persecution. This is not prosecution. I am ashamed to be a Fanti right now. I am ashamed to call myself a Fanti. We are despicable, disgusting people. Very selfish people. That is why we are where we are. We cannot even speak for our own. What we are seeing today is not prosecution. What we are seeing today in our courts by the Attorney General, by this woman, by all the people sitting on radio and doing everything possible to make sure Attoforce is jailed. All these people are just interested in persecuting Attoforce. They don't need the money for Ghana. The 2.3 million euros, they don't want it. They don't need it. They don't care. They just want to prosecute Attoforce so that they become happy. And this woman has disappointed women. At least, as a woman judge, you need to set the standards. Today, she has opened the floodgates for criminals who call themselves lawyers to negotiate behind the scenes without the presence of counsels to tarnish the court and destroy people's life. This is a criminal case. This is not a civil matter. I keep saying, the days look dark. The days ahead of us is very gloomy. It's very dark. If we don't take care, what some of our friends, family, relatives, people we love experienced in the past, we might experience it twice. We are not above anything. We are humans. When we are pushed to a point, we can become animals. My name is Kevin Ekobedu Taylor. No calls. I will see you tomorrow to discuss Ghana. Have a wonderful night. Be good. God bless you. God bless me. God bless every single individual. Cheers and good night.
Yo, abusia we dey say ochiamia unim na asem ka osena na we dey wasuma. Ahane Kevin Taylor wakasa. Ahane wakasa. Na wankasa ode waso atibi. De bia ye bo empanyifo ne nkrofo a nyame ye wonadom na Ghana fo di yankasa yitumi ehye omonsa se omumbedi anim no ekokọ se abusuafo mo ba na mo bedi saa tumi no a monkan hu se ye na ne edi tumi no ahye monsa enye wankasa na wodo pe ekograbe ye yen ene edi tumi no ehye wonsa. Enti se yen yedi tumi no hye wonsa de na ndie hu behia se odi saa tumi na yedi ama wo no ebesom yen. Enti se koba ne se tumi a yedi ahye wonsa no afi ko wie se odi kutia yen odi say ye generations odi chese toto ye man no ase a ema wanhwe ya abufuo ba ema abamubuo ba ema anhwa basabasa yekrompo ntimi efri edi akiri eba. Enti ensem a Kevin Taylor ekan me de I am hoping say Ghana for yin ebe fa na sopom na sa uye Supreme Court judge o uye High Court judge o uye himfa de ben judge o sa uye police ni uye sojani uye FNC immigration officer GRE officer uye custom uye hwan ewukrum ha anawman mu no ye wa famudie fa no kure esom oman nhwe nipa sanse se ya nhwe yie na so oman no agigu a ye nyina yetemu bi ese so konfo boni eka se oman bi emwa ono susu otemu bi eti abusiafo momma yani enna ho na yemfa no kure die ensom ye man Ghana my map greedy politicians be and tamusika and fan beshe and kutupa and my dear mine bonnet na down kwan mabino nyame abisayen mumma yemfa odo ene no kre en som ye man sanse ebinum adikan a omakwa omodi omumuja itwa so de mo man yi anka omusoso sabion kombetma yesikasem komuso betmi apre nyinche komuso betmi apre sika de ama ono generations but omanye saa omudi omuhu esi ho se ye de ye beko ama oman Ghana ye ya manne ya beto oman Ghana so se dia na ende esemeni umienu wa wote court wa uye police ni uye soldier ni uye hwan ni whoever you are and wherever you are so uye politician kai hunu se obi ena a pavy way no editor ho mawo saa nipa no sacrifices o ye no yen so yen to aso na ankoba na saa one day yinyina ye besere at the wrong side of our mouth ebre edru akoye court nsensem tin me pese me come too much sanse insem ewo mebo nanso so I think that Kevin Taylor aka enough and I wouldn't want to go in too much mesra mo abusiafo moma yendi nokre emfa maye man Ghana moma yendi nokre the Bible say nokre no beye na de hye moma yendi nokre na oman tumi mfa ne tomapa infra ebre no awiedu say Ghana yebeji edi afri abonefo yi ensam na oman no atumi assign go back to the track. Aha PENDREAM TV. Make sure so be subscribe to the channel. Or like video no edi amame. Or adventure be a part of to comment section no ase betumi share video no edi ama edi to other platforms so. No wa follow yen ye social media platforms ni na so. PENDREAM TV Facebook, PENDREAM TV TikTok, X and Instagram. Baby at PENDREAM TV. Follow yen na yemfa Ghana enyoma ahunta nyina emfa mro. PENDREAM TV yese damu yopo.
Maneva na sema PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV de ose dam yopo.